Hey Internet, Eric here. Rachel's over there.
Hello.
Back for a review with her. We haven't done one of these in a long time. Tonight, well, we watched this
A couple days ago.
I'll just say there's no build-up or nothing. We're talking Robin Hood Men in Tights. And we watched this on VHS because, yes, we have not upgraded. If you're new to my channel, welcome. We discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, all that jazz. This came out in... I'm blind as fuck. I don't know. Came out in the 90s. Doesn't matter because I'll just have the date in the description. Basic plot is, it's written and directed by Mel Brooks. It's his parody of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
It's awesome.
The Kevin Costner film. But if for some reason you don't know what that is, it's basically Cary Elwes plays Robin Hood.
Mm-hmm.
And he's off on the Crusades, some Middle Eastern country. I think it's Middle Eastern. I don't fucking know.
Probably.
Or African or something like that. And with the help of Isaac Hayes, who plays a sneeze, he escapes, swims all the way back to England, finds out that the Sheriff of Rottingham and Prince John have taken over. Robin tries to stop him and also win the love of Maid Marian. It's written by Mel Brooks, so lots of toilet humor and stuff like that. Fucking love this film.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's so much fun. It is not my favorite Mel Brooks film. That is still Spaceballs, but this is probably right under it.
Yeah. It'd probably be my favorite Mel Brooks,
yeah.
This one.
First off, Cary Elwes is funny as hell. He takes his sly humor that he did in The Princess Bride,
mm-hmm.
and he ups it a lot because he has a lot more people to work with.
Yeah.
His comedic timing is perfect when he's trying to be romantic. In a Mel Brooks film, someone trying to be romantic in a Mel Brooks film, it works. His
facial expressions.
His facial expressions are perfect. He's got great chemistry with Amy Yasbeck as Maid Marian. Dave Chappelle as, Achu, because, his dad was a sneeze, so yeah. Dave Chappelle is Achu. But even the backroom characters like Little John and Blinkin, the blind guy,
yeah.
Cary Elwes carries this film perfectly from beginning to end with perfect comedic timing. Loved him. Almost everybody is fantastic in this movie. A lot of people I don't know their names, but the guy who plays Blinkin, the blind guy, his comedic timing is fantastic. There's a scene where Robin comes home and the tax man, is taking away the whole castle, and literally they have
a horse and carriage.
Yeah, it's literally hooked up to like a horse and carriage, and it's being pulled away, and there's old Blinkin sitting on the toilet reading a Playboy, but in Braille,
yeah,
so he's feeling it up.
And he hitting cups.
Yeah, he touches the boobs on it there. And then he walks up and he hears Master Robin and he bumps into a
mannequin.
A Venus de Milo type thing. So he's upset that Robin lost his arms in battle, but then he feels around and he says, "Oh, but you grew some nice boobs." And he makes sure to pat the boob. But he's great. Blinkin is the blind guy, so of course that's what they do. They make him the lookout, and he says, "I don't think anybody's here." Dave Chappelle. This is the first time I ever saw Dave Chappelle. It was before the Chappelle Show, before Half Baked. He's really good here. He's very likable.
I never saw him before that.
He's very likable and funny as Achu.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good jokes. I love when Robin's going to get hung at the end, and Achu saves him, and by shooting a bow and arrow, and it cuts the noose. And Robin says, "Good shooting, Achu." And he's like, "Yeah, thanks, but I was actually aiming for the hangman." But they have good chemistry. The guy who plays Little John is great.
Mm-hmm.
He's good at being this lovable simpleton.
Yeah.
The first time we meet him, he won't let Robin cross a bridge, and he's got this he says, "You got to pay the toll."
Well, let's first say how big the bridge is.
The bridge is probably 5 feet long, if that, and it's not covering a river. It's covering a dried up creek, and then Dave Chappelle,
literally like an inch of water.
Yeah, and Dave Chappelle shows up. He's like, it's not the Mississippi. I'm on the left bank, I'm on the right bank. So it's great.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Cary Elwes in perfect comedic timing says basically it's the principle.
Yeah.
But Little John is lovable as, you know, the big dumb oaf. And then there's all a bunch of background characters. There's like Will Scarlett O'Hara from Georgia. Mel Brooks shows up as Rabbi Tuckman instead of Friar Tuck because he's Jewish, of course, complete with like the little braids on the side. So whenever he lifts up his head, it goes up to
Hello, boys.
Hello, boys. And his thing is he's trying to, you know, teach people about circumcisions, and the ladies love it. I'll put me down for 2.
I'll put your thingy in here, and I nip the tip.
Put some ice on it, it'll be fine. So the heroes are great, but most of the villains are great. And that's what I mean by most of the acting is great. Sheriff of Rottingham, whoever the hell played him, his shtick is he's trying to be intimidating, but he always gets his words wrong. Twisted. Like when Robin's attacking the bad guys, Prince John says, save me, hurt them. And then he gets him, he's like, that's right. Save them, hurt you.
Yeah, or the part where he's like, I'll pay for this. And he's supposed to say, you'll pay for this?
Yeah, so really good, really funny comedic timing, making him... You got how intimidating Alan Rickman was in Prince of Thieves, and you turn him into this little sap, but it's funny. Every time he's on screen, it's great. Tracy Ullman as Latrine, the witch. Mm-hmm. It's Tracy Ullman, and she's after, not after Prince John. She works for Prince John. She's after the Sheriff of Rottingham, and that's just the ongoing joke that she wants to basically molest him. And she's, I love how she's talking, like the scene where she's talking to Prince John. He's like, he find out that they changed their name, their family name to Latrine in...
We changed it in the 9th century.
It used to be Shithouse and stuff like that.
Changed it to Latrine?
It's a good change. But she's funny stuff.
Yeah.
The only problem I have is I don't like Richard Lewis as Prince John. I know he's supposed to be this little wimp, this little weasel, but he just annoys me too much, and I can't fucking stand him.
Oh, really?
Oh. His only joke is he's got a mole on his face, and every time you see it, it's in a different place. Like it's on the top of his head once, it's on his chin, and then someone mentions that, I think it was the Sheriff of Rottingham, he's like, wasn't the mole on the other side? And he says, I have a mole?
Oh, yeah.
That's his only contribution to this film. I don't like him at all. And then there's Amy Yasbeck, who's there just to be sexy. I don't really care for her as Maid Marian at all. I find her annoying because she's got the wispy voice.
The breathy voice.
The breathy voice, and she's just there to look pretty, and she is pretty because she basically walks around in like this metal chastity belt, complete with like
a lock
in the shape of a heart, and because she's got to be a virgin until she gets married. The only good thing about Amy Yasbeck, other than looking pretty, is she's got this assistant named Broomhilda, who is basically Dot Matrix from Spaceballs. She's got to make sure she stays a virgin, and she is funny every time she's on. She's
played by the girl that's on League of Their Own.
Yeah, Marla Hooch. How do you make someone ugly? You give her the name Marla Hooch in League of Their Own. But here, as Broomhilda, she's very funny. She does this fake, I don't know if it's Swedish or German or what accent, but she's very, very funny. She's probably one of my favorite side characters other than Little John. Mm-hmm. I love her to death in this. Typical Mel Brooks breaking the fourth wall. The first joke we get is, they're shooting arrows into the airs. And that's bringing the credits along, and it's landing on cabins, and then of course it's really burning the house down to the people on set.
Every time he makes a movie, he burns down our village.
Yep. The funny sword fight between Robin and the sheriff, they stab. Robin tries to stab the sheriff, and he goes through the window and steals the guy's donut. It's just funny visual humor,
and I like the fight with Little John and the big planks of wood that they have.
They have little bow staffs, and they keep breaking them, and they're a little smaller, and then they break that, and it's this long, and then we got a granola bar here, okay? It's this long,
and you flick the hands,
and they're going like this to each other, and then it gets so small that Robin just takes it out and just whaps John on the knuckles, and then that causes him to fall in like the inch-long creek, and Robin has to save him from drowning by just helping him stand up. So the writing is great. There's not a lot of toilet humor, which I find good because I fucking hate toilet humor. Mel Brooks is at the top of his game here with Men in Tights. He's still, he's riding off of Spaceballs, and it's fantastic. There are some dated jokes, obviously, that, like, if someone younger than us...
Yeah, we talked about that the other day, that basically anybody in this new millennium...
Yeah, we're in our mid to late 30s, so anyone younger than us might not get a lot of the dated jokes.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and say...
Basically, anybody that was born after, like, 99 might not get some of the jokes in it.
Yeah, because there's a scene where they're all beating everybody up, and then Dave Chappelle says, back up, I need some air, and he pumps up his Nikes. No one's going to know about that unless you were our age. What was the other one? Oh, the little boy that's being chased by the sheriff.
Which I would like to point out we didn't get either.
We didn't get either until like 2 days ago when we watched this. First he runs into the camera, and then he does the Macaulay Culkin thing, so we knew he was just making fun of Macaulay Culkin. But at the end, after Robin saves him, he says, I gotta be going home alone now. And then he looks in the camera, runs and screams and runs back. But Macaulay Culkin hasn't been a name since like 1994, so that shows, again, it's another dated joke. So that's like the only major downside to this film, other than I don't like Richard Lewis at all. Amy Yasbeck is only there to look pretty. I don't want her to talk during this film. The only time she's ever funny is which I won't spoil it so much, is when they're singing behind... She's being serenaded behind this big giant towel or something like. So you see the...
Like a sheet.
Yeah, you see their shadows, and let's just say the sword of Robin's looks like his dick, and it just...
Something else.
It gets really funny. And there's cheering. I like some of the...
He hits a high note, and there's like a whole bunch of wind that scares her.
Yeah. And I like a lot of the guys who are just in there for the background. It's some of the funniest jokes are from like the Merry Men, like don't know their names are. He says like, "Merry Men, lend me your ears," and they pull off their ears and they throw at him. And then Cary Elwes in perfect delivery, just like
disgusting.
That's disgusting. And then there's a musical number which is fucking hilarious, where they sing about being merry men, but they're not gay.
Yeah,
because we're butch, So that's really funny. Like I said, Robin Hood Men in Tights. Do you have any problems with this? I mean, I said who I didn't like.
Not really. Not really.
All right, she loves the fucking movie.
Yeah. Pretty well agree with you on yours.
All right, well, there you go. I'm glad you helped with your contribution to this review.
I pretty well agree. I think that... can't think of his name, his sidekick, Achu.
Achu? Achu? Here? Yeah.
I mean, he's funny, but it's not hilarious. Like, it's just kind of a dry humor. I mean, he has some funny things. I don't know.
She doesn't like Dave Chappelle.
I think he could have been funnier in it. But
I think this was his first movie, or like one of his first major roles, but I liked him a lot more here because he was more toned down than when he had like all these characters on the Dave Chappelle show. I liked him here a lot more. So overall, absolutely love this. Yes, you can love a film by hating some characters. I love this film because I still laugh my ass off every time I watch it. It's still so much fun.
And then there's the beginning, when they're singing, like those three guys are singing.
There's a rap group thrown in here for no reason, because it's early 90s or whatever. But it's not annoying. It's funny because then they throw in some thrusting. Some thrusting and some la 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 stuff. And it's.
And then there's the prison guard guy.
The prison guard is fine. Like when he brings in Cary Elwes, he says, this doesn't work. And he hands him like a fake long beard. So the jokes are crisp. The jokes are fast. The jokes are really, really good. possibly Mel Brooks' last good film, even though you like Dracula Dead and Loving It. I think that's a pile of crap. I highly recommend Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I just like a good, stupid humor movie that you don't have to think about.
No, you don't have to think about it. And like I said, this is still fun. So highly recommend Robin Hood Men in Tights. Even though she doesn't like Dave Chappelle and I hate a few other characters.
Not that I don't mind Dave Chappelle, I just think that he's not hugely hilarious in the movie.
Anyways, that's all we have for you. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Click the bell. Share. Don't. Comment below. Tell us if we're wrong and you actually hate this movie. Tell us if I'm wrong and you really like Richard Lewis in this movie for some ungodly reason. Send suggestions. Send us movies that you think I will hate or Rachel will hate, and we'll watch them, whether she likes it or not. Because she's going to make me watch Annie eventually. I got to make her watch the Power Rangers movie, not the one that just came out that's fun. The one from like 1995 with, you know...
Good God.
Yes, that one. But in the end, I will say cheers, and I was just trying to think of a quote. I can't think of a quote.
A Jew?
Yeah.
Here?
Sure. Cheers.